Yo, I'm moving tranquility, also virility, keep it 100, and I'm moving fertility, giving birth to all the truth, and the seasons planet, trying to be one of the dopest kings, this planet, taking dominion, and I ain't got time for no millions, I just wanna make this money, stack my bread up with millions, do this for my children, and do it all for my legacy, wisdom, knowledge, long life, and longevity, I'm a king. I'm a king.
Hey, what up, y'all? Y'all already know what it is, man. Virility Kings Podcast, man. We're back at it. Season 3, man. Season 3, man. It's a new season. Y'all already know it's me, man. The one and only Kevin, Black Superman Lewis. And I got my guy over here, man, Tony Magnum. What up, Tony, man? How you feeling, bro? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, sir. Lovely Sunday morning. Ready to spread some word. Hallelujah.
Hey, man. Same here, bro. It's been a long time coming, man. You know, we did season 2, which was a great season. Thank you to all y'all that have, showed love, all the viewers, anybody who commented, shared, or whatever, man. We appreciate y'all. And, we really look to take it to the next level on this season and really dig deep on similar topics and videos that y'all send us. So if you guys got any videos that y'all want us to react to or, give our viewpoints on, man, make sure y'all comment below. Put it in the comment section, man, and comment below. Please do it. We will definitely react to it. Put it in the list. But other than that, man, this video, as y'all can see in the title, is entitled Woman Humble. She's humble when she realizes that she is not the prize. All right, she's humble. We're actually gonna look at this video and really dig deep into this, so we can really, first of all, bring light to this, because this is a big thing. I mean, women, we know, especially modern women, a lot of them are walking around. They've been taught and groomed to believe, that they are the prize. When in all actuality, for what a man is supposed to do in our position, in our role, we are the prize. For what we are called to do and what we should be doing as men, we are the prize. Women are wanting us. That's the whole reason why hypergamy exists with women. You know what I'm saying? Women move in hypergamy. They're trying to find that the best guy that could provide for them the best and that can give them that stability. Why would women do that if we weren't the prize? Why are they not looking for that option? But I digress, because we're going to dig deep as we watch this video. What you think about that too, Tony, before we start this video?
Sound like you hit the nail on the head. Let's go ahead and call it a day. Like, comment, subscribe.
Video over. But yeah, man. So we're going to get into this video, y'all. And I'm letting y'all know right now, this is very interesting. I haven't seen a lot of it. I only seen a little bit. Tony, did you see any of this video? Did you watch it or not?
No, sir, I did not.
Awesome. And guys, that's pretty much going to be our goal. Like, we're going to look to not really watch the videos at all and really give y'all a solid reaction, first time reaction. So just know, guys, if y'all comment videos below, we're going to look to not watch it so that we can get that full-on reaction, give y'all a real authentic reaction. All right, man, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this video. We're gonna get into it. This should be very interesting.
There are many women today who are out earning men, female doctors, lawyers, etc. Why is a male breadwinner considered to be normal for a man, while a female breadwinner is often considered to be dating down for a woman?
I think a lot of times we refer to back in the days when men were considered the breadwinners. They were the men, they were the people that brought home the money while the women stayed home. So now the generations have changed and things have changed, now women are getting on their shit. Like, it's not just rely on a man anymore. It's do for your own and he's going to do for himself. And you guys can either do that shit together or, one person could be the breadwinner. I guess it all.
So real quick, I gotta stop it. So first and foremost, she talking about some, women are getting on their shit. All right. They're getting on their shit. What shit exactly do you want to get on? I mean, at the end of the day, what what is the biggest? My point is like, what's the biggest purpose of you getting on your shit? Why are you getting on your shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you feel the need to get on your shit? Women are getting on their shit. Okay. Why are you getting on your shit? You're getting on your shit because that's what you've been led to believe you need to do when you don't even have to. What you think about what she's saying so far, Tony?
It is part of the delusional state that this whole strong, independent narrative has put a lot of women in. Now, let's just look at this female here. I would say she is generally attractive. She could probably have a plethora of men just basically at her weight. Now, if she is going to be on her shit, that means she doesn't need a man. So if she's going to have that mentality, all the men that are basically trying to get at her, she needs to just politely step away because you're on your shit. Why would you, an independent woman, even consider relationships? So if you're going to have that narrative, you need to follow through with the actions. But then she went around and said that they're going to work together. No. We gotten away from the roles of it doesn't necessarily have to be the gender because we are modern enough, but there's a leader and then there's a subordinate. Females typically are subordinate and they want the benefits of being a subordinate. If you got your leader, he's the one, typically he's the one, he's controlling the money, he's setting the tone of the relationship, where it's going. Then you got the subordinate. All you got to do is sit back and bake cookies. So with that being said, you can't have the arrogance of you calling any shots. No, you can't. But women are trying to have both. They want to have that sit back. Okay, all I got to do is bake some cookies every here and there, give them sex. But then you want to have arrogance. Yeah, I'm a boss, bitch. You can't have both. And that's the confusion that the feminist narrative is bringing to the table and why our roles are jacked up. And then, last note, they want to say that, this is how the things have changed. If we look at the broad spectrum of how things are right now, has it changed for the better? Can we honestly say that things have progressed to better? We got a whole bunch of men raised in single mother homes. Are they actually decent quality men? Are they the most successful men? And sorry about that. And I'm sorry, it looks like this social experiment that's been going on for the past 2 generations has failed. We need to take some steps back, get back to some basics.
I totally agree with that, man. I totally agree with it. The point I was saying earlier was it's an unnecessary gesture. You know what I'm saying? Women going through this thing where they feel like they need to be on their shit, when men, we're not really concerned about you being on your shit in that way. We're not really super concerned with the financial aspect. Don't get me wrong, we can see the value in it. If a woman can bring some type of financial gain to the table, we ain't gonna turn it away. I mean, we ain't stupid. But at the end of the day, that is not what we are dictating when we're looking for a woman. I like how he even talked about the whole settling aspect. He actually said it. He's like, why does it seem as if, women are looking for, a greater guy to get or whatever, but the guys are settling for women? Why is that the case? And I can tell she's probably going to dig a little deeper in what she's saying. She doesn't sound stupid. I'm not going to take it away from her. She sounds intelligent. But that whole comment about her saying, oh, women are just getting on their shit and that's why it's like that. No, I just think that the narratives that have been presented to women and men are the reason why men are settling for women, because they forgot the facts. They forgot the history. They forgot how things were and how they actually worked. This whole women being on their shit thing, they need to be on their shit thing in their role as women. That's where you need to be getting on your shit as a woman, as a mother, as a, like why you were put on this earth to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So let's proceed. And it just makes me laugh, like when you can hear the pride in the words. You know what I'm saying? You can just hear it.
But real quick, when I hear women say they're on their shit, they're all that independent stuff, that just tells me, I'm hearing that now, you're failing as a woman. You may be a powerful adult, but you fail as a woman. Congratulations.
It all depends on what you agree on in your relationship, but I really do think that it has to do with the change over time.
Why is it that a rich man would sooner change a broke woman's life, but a rich woman is less likely to give a broke man a chance?
because men like to have the power to uplift and feel like they're doing, I guess, like justice to the woman, versus a woman is like, I don't need to, I guess, you know what I'm trying to say? Kind of. I wouldn't necessarily agree with the second part of that question, because I honestly think it's more of a societal stigma.
The new best way to make money online that nobody's talking about is something you've never heard of before. It's
We don't want to hear
using
about
normal.
Shit just random. They just be blatant with the shit now. It just randomly pops in. Right? Okay. Now we got the circular action going.
Yes, okay. Just to recap on the question, why is it that a man of value can uplift a woman, but the other way around, a woman of value will not uplift a lower man? Because you're fighting against your nature. You're the one that is supposed to be uplifted and taken care of, and men want to adhere to that role. But when you got all these boss bitches, whatever they want to call themselves, out here with that arrogant attitude, you're doing our job and you're acting like an asshole when you do it. So a man would be silly to co-sign with that, or he's not walking in his own masculine frame. The modern terms of where a woman can just do her own thing and be a normal citizen, not a second-class citizen, she can take care of herself, cool. But those are for the options if you actually truly long-term want to freaking negate or neglect the whole relationship factor. You can't have your cake too. Oh, sorry about that. You cannot have sorry. You cannot have your cake and eat it too when it comes to you want to be in a relationship, you want to be taken care of, but yet you're taking care of yourself. Your actions and your narrative
where society just kind of like,
it's just so sad. And then it's like they cannot see this. It's like, how much life experience do you really need to see the contradiction? Or how much self-esteem do you need to have as an individual to realize this is what I want and this is the appropriate path?
I totally agree with that. I totally agree, man. I honestly, what it is, like you said, it's in their nature to follow that type of route and go that direction. It's like it's in their nature to. That's even what they've even been taught. Like they're a damsel in distress, waiting for their knight in shining armor. You know what I'm saying? So it even still aligns with some of the fairy tale aspects that they've been taught ever since they were children. But essentially, that is just our role as men. We are the protector, the provider. And they know that. That's why they move the way that they do with men. You know what I'm saying? And women, that's why they're not going to accept a broke guy. They're not going to accept that broke dude because that broke dude can't do what they truly yearn and need from a man. That broke guy can't.
And I don't see there's anything wrong with that. When it comes to, I've been telling a lot of men, young men, especially those of a more religious background, because they want to be the traditional man. Cool, but you need to build your castle first. You try to, because women typically do not want to be there while you're building. Let's just face it, they want to move in when everything's all set up, kind of like birds of a nest. The man has to build the nest first, then the female inspects it, like, okay, I'm cool, let's make eggs. So if we take that mentality a little bit more, you want that white picket fence end goal, cool. Work hard, build for it. When you're in your 30s, maybe your 40s, you're closer to that. And a woman can, I'm being very generous here, can better appreciate that, even if you are just a blue collar dude. But you got to have yourself as to some level of establishment and also have the balls and backbone to say, hey, this is mine. You the bottom bitch. I'll freaking, you get me housed up in here. But when I come home, I want to smell laundry detergent and Gain and a freaking fresh hot sandwich at the ready. And if she can't, so you out there busting your ass doing your role. If she can't do her role, she got to bounce. And that's where a man's got to be. And no one's going to say boo to a woman having any kind of expectation for a man on that front. Hey, I want a man who makes X amount of money. Let's just say that. No one says boo to that. It's just that the problem is a lot of women who are normal women. You're just a woman. You think you can have these expectations for these high-ranking 1%er of men. No, that's unrealistic. That is unrealistic. That's the only thing. Calm down those not our expectations. Always trying to go to that bare minimum, that small, obscure percentile. If you calm that down and just realize, hey, there's Coach Bobby over there. He makes, I don't know, $60,000. He has his own place, own car. Why not? You know?
Yeah, I think a lot of these women are afraid of that. They're afraid because of their natural nature to want a man who can add security to them. They already know that, and that's why they move the way that they do concerning men. That's why they will not accept a broke man, most women. Now, the statement that you said before, when you said a lot of women typically want to wait until the man has established himself. That's why when you ask women, what kind of man are you looking for? They're like, a man that got his stuff together, a man that boom, boom, boom. There is some women who will, and I'm going to tell you right now, men, these are the women that you guys want to gravitate to, as long as they don't have too many mental or emotional issues. There are some women who will ride with you, see your ambition, see your potential, and be by your side and trust you while you are at the bottom on your way up. You know what I'm saying? And men, those are the women that you want to gravitate to, as long as they're not doing it simply because, you know, they have issues and they don't even have, you know, a sense of self at all. My point being, some women may stick that out with you and may be able to grind with you, but either way it goes, we still have to solidify what Tony's saying. You know, set that, make it clear, set those boundaries. And you ain't got to be, you ain't got to be a dickhead. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be, you don't have to be a pompous, macho man and stuff and be telling like, look, you're going to be my bitch. You're going to do this and that. You just be a very respectable man, because as men, we value respect. So respect your wife or your woman, you know what I'm saying? And say it in a very respectable, assertive way. Let her know like, hey, these are my boundaries. This is what I expect in this relationship. This is what I expect out of you. If you can't respect that, then I can't be in this relationship or this marriage. It's not going to work out. But essentially, women and men move in this way because of what we've both been taught and told. It all comes from society. I like how that girl was saying it's a stigma, and it is. It's been a created stigma, you know what I'm saying? But like, we have to both understand that men and women, we're both kind of moving in the air, and we've both been a bit lied to about how this thing is supposed to work. And we sometimes both go outside of our natural roles and our natural instincts in a relationship or in like a marriage or relationship. So you got the man who's supposed to provide, he's getting his money together, he's getting things situated, and you got the woman who's looking for that man. That's natural. Men have the natural want to conquer and to reach what they can reach and reach high heights and be able to sustain themselves and provide. And women have the natural want to receive from a man, receive from that masculinity, that masculine energy, so that they can bring in their femininity and we could both be whole together. The thing that's getting us both separated from that and why we keep having conflict is society. And we got to also accept that it's not us individually. It's just we've both been lied to and deceived by the media and by a number of things that's literally programmed us to think that we need these specific things or for things to be a specific way. That's why I don't blame women fully or men fully anymore. I just think we're all misguided and we all need to learn and wake up and become fully independent thinkers. Instead of following the concepts that's being presented to us by the world or by society, So I think once we reach that, I think that's when we can kind of somewhat end this men and women war. Once we all wake up, once we realize, we're not against each other, man. We are the power that keeps this humanity moving forward. If we don't connect, the humanity don't continue to persist. If we keep going against each other, women, men, running away and shit, no more lives will be created. So I think people are starting to wake up though. But let's see what this chick got to say. That's dope. I like how they did that.
Don't mind me while you set this up.
Says that women have a problem being with a man of a certain financial, status. I don't necessarily think that that's what we as women think right off the bat, but
A rich man see the future in a woman, and we could build them up. But a woman already feels when they got money that they already built up, and they wouldn't want to build us up. You feel me? They feel like they're better than us when they have money. We're broke, we're all this when they got money, but when it's the other way around, they want us to pay for their bills and help them financially be stable and everything, you know?
I think we all have standards,
That's
but
real.
women
That's real.
are always told all their life, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. So when it comes to a man that is making less money than you, or you're the breadwinner, whatever the case may be, you feel like you're settling for less, you're settling for like you feel like you deserve more. Whereas a man takes leadership and accountability and can be that leader in that relationship that a woman cannot be.
Okay. What is
So I gotta stop it. So this is very interesting to me. Pretty much what she stated about, how women feel in these certain scenarios where they're making the more money or they're the breadwinner. They start to feel like, oh, you're not being the leader. You're not taking on that role. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. But what if we was to look at them that way? You know what I'm saying? What if the tables turned and what if we was like, hold up, I'm making all the money here. I'm the breadwinner. I'm setting up everything. I'm establishing everything. What you doing? What are you doing, or what are you bringing to this table? Like, what if the tables were turned? What if the tables flipped around? Because if we want to get technical, the way that modern women are being led right now, they're being led to believe that, they're supposed to be powerful and mighty and strong. Okay, so if you want to take on that role, that's clearly supposed to be my role. I was built for it biologically. You want to take on that role? Okay, well then, how about I turn this motherfucking table around then, right? And be like, okay, what are you bringing to the table? Why am I settling for you? I feel like that should be the big question. Why am I? If I got to do all this shit, take all this shit on, the finances, the boom, the bam, the bam, the boom. I got to protect you. I got to boom, boom, boom. So what are you doing for me? What, getting my dick wet? That's what you're doing, right? That's good. That's cool. But what are you doing in a sense of like our coexistence together?
I want to say on the today's modern term, I want to make this little note. Then I got to make a quick run. Okay. On today's modern terms, I think that is fine. That men should not feel this way when it comes to the relationships and yada yada. If we want to stick to modern terms, I'm going to treat a woman like she is an equal. That means you are an individual who's responsible for your shit. So if you are on your shit, what does my expectations or anything or your expectation got to do with me? We'll do that, like you said, that pure, and we'll be cool with that because that's how you want it to be. So I believe that men should not feel obligated to still try to fight this battle. I really don't, because that's what a lot of women say they want. Then on the note of what she brings to the table, let's put it this way. Okay, we already said that a woman trying to be on her shit is, I said that a woman being on her shit is a failure as a woman. So if I'm going to ask you, what do you bring to the table? I want you to bring peace. If I'm out there busting my ass or doing what I got to do to provide for you, when I come home, you should make it a comfortable environment for me to be recharged and do it again. Yes. That's what I want you to bring to the table. If you got ambition, that means you're independent. Leave me alone. Don't waste my time with your ambition. You want to be ambitious? Go do your thing. It shouldn't have to do with me because you're independent. And I think that's where a lot of men and women are not like establishing that, because I don't know, I keep putting on the front of self-esteem. If you are truly self-esteem, you don't worry about what other people do. You don't worry about them because you're moving your own. You're on your shit. I'm talking to a man, I'm talking to a woman. You're on your shit. Why are you worried about what that female does? Why are you worried about what that man does? If you're truly on your shit. So practice what you actually are preaching. If you independent, then be that. And that's not me saying being an asshole to the opposite gender, because they're around and people still thinking that relationship factor. Cool. But like the women I meet in the gym, when they hear some of my shit I say online, they get a little off put because but you're so nice. Yeah, I'm polite and professional. But if you want to talk to me on terms of relationship status and whatnot, I do have expectations. I'm not going to be like these other men out here who just roll over because they're pussy. I'm just not. And women, and then women. If you want to, you set yourself up for failure when you drive yourself to the college degrees and all that bunch of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that as an individual, but your expectations for the man goes extremely higher. You feel like you're settling because you put yourself to a higher standard above the plethora of more average Joe men. And then that one percentile of men that you got your eyes for, why would they want to tolerate you with all that attitude? You're not even a woman anymore. You're trying to catch up to them with their work. No, they don't want to do that. Why would any man making $1 million want to listen to all that mouth and all that arrogance? Well, I could do this. I could do this on my own. Why am I here? And I want more men to actually ask themselves that. If I got to do all the work, I'm expected to be a man, why would I want to listen to a barking ass other female over there trying to compete with me? Hell no, I don't want to compete with a damn female. I want you to bring me some cookies. Be soft and cuddle with me, or when I'm actually tired, I'm just, oh baby, come here. I just want to hold you for a little bit. It's been a long day. Let me get some of that pie. All right, we do the pie thing. And then after all this, I gotta get back to work. Just keep my phone calls, okay? Bye, I love you. All that good shit. And what's wrong with that? Oh, that's right. We got the freaking female over there trying to be all loud and arrogant for no reason. I think I said this before. Their highest level of masculinity is when they want to act like a man. Their highest level is acting like our lowest level. That young upstart that needs to be loud and get everyone's attention. Look, I'm tough. Nobody asked you to be. Just do your job.
It's something to laugh at. It's something to be ridiculed. But one more thing too. This falls back on us as men, and we got to really, really stop accepting these types of women. We have to start allowing these women to look stupid. We have to start allowing these women to self-destruct. The only reason why these women are moving the way that they are is because they've learned that it works for them. And like you said, men being desperate for pussy, that's one of the most simpish things that we could be as men. That is King Meister simp. You know what I'm saying? That's top-notch simp. You know, pussy is too plentiful in this world to be fucking desperate for. But we have to set a new tone. We got to set that tone, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We have to full-fledged accept that these women should not be able to get the type of men that they're getting. You know, and it don't matter how much money you make. It don't matter what you got going on, King. You know what I'm saying? If your money ain't right, it is what it is. My money ain't perfect. Money isn't everything, and money isn't what makes money. Money is valuable in terms of things that you can get in trading and commerce, but human beings, like people, we are the value. The people on this earth, we're the value. Money doesn't amount to us, okay? Because we create it. We make money. So don't allow your lack of money to make you feel like you're not a man or you're not worthy, you know, or you don't deserve a woman to respect you. You don't deserve a woman to honor the fact that you're a man and you're a man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't give a damn how much money you make or how much money we make. I don't care how sexy and attractive the chick is. We have to stop accepting women like that. We got to stop giving these types of women what they believe they deserve. When, in all honesty, they're very, very lucky to have a man, and a good man at that. Especially if you're a good man. Especially, you know, if your goal isn't to be out here smashing as many women as you can, you're gonna be faithful to your woman, to your wife, to your girlfriend, whatever. You know, and you want to do the right thing. You're looking to do the right thing. You lining things up. You know, you're ambitious and you're trying to make that type of money to do what you got to do. You should not settle for that. So if you start dealing with a woman who's like, who's trying to boss you around, trying to control everything, control you, control your life, you know, talking down on you and belittling you because you ain't got a certain amount of money, man, let her go. All right. When you go on these dates with these women, listen, it's not called courting for nothing. You know, being with women, going on dates, that is a courting session. You're getting to know who this person is, and you're really trying to decide if this person is good for you or not. You're trying to figure out if this woman is going to meet your criteria. You know what I'm saying? Us as men, we have to accept that the woman is meeting, you know, our criteria. Like what, you know, what we what we consider as what we want. You know, dating is courting. So when we're courting, just as much as a woman, the man should be really trying to decide, okay, does she meet my expectations? Does she meet what I want in a woman? Because trust me, you deserve it just as much as she do. Stop accepting these women. Stop allowing them to place intimidation in your heart because they moving in this false masculinity. It's not even real, okay? If anything, they are fucking afraid. Don't be scared of these bitches, man. Don't be intimidated by these women. You know what I'm saying? If you have the right to tell them, look, I'm not interested in you. I'm not interested in you. And walk the fuck away, man. You ain't got to never talk to them again in life. I don't care how sexy they are. I don't care how bad they are, how beautiful they are. They could look like fucking Beyonce back when she was like fucking 20, 21, man. It don't matter. It doesn't matter, bro. You do not deserve a woman who's going to move like that in your life. It's just not necessary. You know? You deserve way better than that. You deserve a woman who's going to respect you as a man, respect your masculinity, respect that. First of all, respect your motherfucking potential. Like, respect that you have potential as a man. Yeah, you might not be there yet, but she need to respect that you got potential to be there one day. If you sit in front of a woman and she can't look at you and respect you as a man like that and be like, you know what, one day he will reach his potential, man, fuck her, dog. Let her go. Walk away from her, bro. I don't care how fat her ass is. I don't care how big her titties are. I don't care if she looks sexy and all that. It's not worth it because you got to deal with her bullshit later in a relationship. Trust me. And it's going to be toxic as hell. Period.
I am sorry I came in late to all that. I was over that energy right there at the tail end there.
It's real shit, man.
Because that's what having self-esteem is about. It's not about you being hyper arrogant. It's just you being able to not tolerate someone else's bullshit. And this is not going along with my plan. I'm feeling like I'm being used and disrespected. Why am I here? For some damn pussy? Man, do you really feel comfortable saying that? You're supposed to be a man, right? Man, most of us want to, be a man. And yet, when it comes to the promise of pussy, you fold. Can you really call yourself a man if you really are going to fold just because of the promise of pussy? Not because the pussy is there because it's appreciating what you're doing as a man. Hey, I'm paying the bills. I'm doing my role, walking in my masculine energy, take care of my shit. And I got some pussy when I come home to relax. But no, you don't want to do it for that. You want to say, oh, if the pussy goes away, then, oh no, I got to do more. I got to go outside of my realm and do it and change based on what the pussy demands. Fuck no. You do your role. You do your role. You make sure your walls are established. You put that money to the side. You have establishment for your kids that you want. And the pussy, once it starts talking back, it's time to move on. Time to get a new one. No.
Mm-hmm. That's a big fact.
I got fired up a little bit right there. I'm sorry.
Me too, man. Me too, because I'm just tired of it, bro. Like and when I see these videos, I slightly get triggered. But when I see women talking in ignorance, it doesn't really trigger me as much anymore. If anything, it's funny to me now. I kind of look at like, yo, these bitches are stupid. Like, I mean, I hate to call them bitches like that, but like, it's funny to me now. So I don't even get super triggered no more. I just be kind of like, wow, man. And then I start to have compassion for them. Like, dang, they just need to be enlightened. Maybe if they realize the truth, then they can really see the value in them stepping away from that type of energy and actually moving in their outright energy that they should be moving in. That's femininity.
I do believe that in order for that to happen, more men need to walk away from the table. 100%. I do believe that because, like you said a little earlier, that women, the reason they act that way is because they still know there's a safety net of the simp army and especially big daddy government. If we take more and more, recruit more and more simps from that army, where, oh no, there's not men anywhere to actually tolerate my bullshit. You're going to have to be forced to change, young lady. And us men, we're just going to be focused on the grind. Like, hey, whatever. If these bitches are acting crazy, I need to just make this money. I'll build this castle and live in it all by myself. Yeah, it's no problem to freaking cook and clean. Look, there's a wash machine right over there. Fuck it.
It's easy. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a man, a masculine man, you know, you was taking care of yourself before you met that woman. You know what I'm saying? So don't allow yourself to be manipulated by if they do somewhat help as well. You know what I'm saying? Just because they helping, just because they could be cleaning your dirty drawers, they could be doing all that shit. But still, you as you being a man, you still don't have to tolerate, a woman trying to boss you around. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to come at you with that type of energy. It just doesn't make any sense. You don't have to tolerate that. You know what I'm saying? So cool. I'm glad we was able to dig into that, pull the video back up. But it's a real thing. I just had to say that, especially for my men out there, because I know it's a lot of us. Like, I used to struggle with that shit a little bit. You know, I never really was controlled by a vagina. You know what I'm saying? It never really had me to that degree, but sometimes, I would kind of be a bit lax on my boundaries because of the connection, and because I was young. But when you grow up, man, you learn. All right.
Hypergamy.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a big word.
Okay, hypergamy essentially.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a big word.
What is hypergamy?
See, he about to ask
that
a good
leader
question.
in that relationship that a woman cannot be.
Okay. What is
leadership and accountability, and this may be, you feel like you're settling for less, you're settling for you feel like you deserve more, whereas a man takes leadership and accountability and can be that leader in that relationship that a woman cannot be.
Real quick, but women, they tend to get in the way of that shit when a man is trying to be in that position. They tend to get in the way with their attitudes, with the nagging, and with the unnecessary drama. So when the man is sitting there trying to lead, she steps in the way and brings that energy into the play, and it gets in the way of the man actually leading. Like, a man could really be trying to do his thing, but because of all the stress that he's dealing with that woman who's moving in that energy, it gets in the way of his productivity. And women who think like that end up sabotaging the actual potential that man could be in that woman's life. And a lot of the times it just stems from both sides not understanding or knowing when to say, yo, this shit does not work. It's not working. We gotta go our own separate ways. But I just wanted to say that too. Women, they jump to that type of thought, like, oh, well, he's supposed to be the leader and this, that, and third. Maybe if you would bring him peace and support and be supportive of him and accept that he's trying and he's in the position that he's in, maybe then he'll lead better. If you trust him. If you trust him, it'd be a lot of lack of trust with women too. They don't trust the man because he might be struggling. Okay. But he's trying though. Give that man some time.
And she's over here demanding this leadership from man. Cool. Do you know how to be a subordinate and just shut the fuck up?
Bingo.
Let's be honest. You want to talk all this demand and shit from leaders and whatnot? Shut the fuck up and let them lead.
Yeah. Straight up. That was the biggest thing that I dealt with my ex, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't blame her entirely. I don't blame her entirely. Like, the reason why I wasn't successful with money or get my stuff together was partially because of me, of course. Obviously, I take responsibility for that. But it did not make it any easier having to deal with her mouth. Having to deal with her mouth and having to deal with her projecting her worry onto me. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm kind of like trying to trust God and trying to figure things out. But then I got to deal with this man. When I'm trying to figure out a fucking plan, man. It's getting in the way. It's getting in the way of what I need to do and figure out. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of men struggle with that too. And women they don't make it better. That's what they, like you said earlier, Tony, that's what they are supposed to bring to the table. They're supposed to bring that peace. They're supposed to create that home that's somewhat of a safe haven for themselves, for the children, and obviously for that man who's grinding for that home. They should create that environment, that peace, that wholesomeness, that safety. You know, not don't get me wrong, y'all. Not safety like they're protecting. I just mean like a comfortable home, like comfortable.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Somewhere where you feel like you can relax, you can relieve, like you can put your guard down. Because as men, when we go out in the world, we're always like in everybody's face. You know what I'm saying? So like when you come home, you want to be able to put your guard down, like relax. So yeah.
Okay. What is hypergamy?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a big word.
Okay. Hypergamy essentially means marrying up to a person of higher status. Which gender is more likely to practice hypergamy?
That's easy.
The woman. I'll be honest.
Okay, why is that?
I would say I can only speak for myself, and it's like knowing that if I make
We gotta add.
I'm doing so well in life, like, yeah, I would want to either marry equal or up. Like, why would I downgrade myself if I know, again, what I'm capable of or what I'm earning?
Why would I downgrade?
Okay.
Oh my God. Hold up. She said, why would I downgrade? So why should a man downgrade? That's my question.
See, I don't think it's about men downgrading. When it comes to dealing with a woman, it's not so much as a downgrade as much as it is what you can afford. That's why I go back to saying build your castle first. Now you know how much of can you afford a woman, rather than you looking at her like an asset or any kind of value, other than is she going to add to that piece? So I got the roof in there, all the food and all that stuff covered. All you got to do is freaking cook this food. I bring home the bacon, you cook it. So a man doesn't lose with a woman. We have to acknowledge women are just that. They're women. A woman is what she is. Men are what we do. We have to be providers, protectors, so on and so forth. A woman just has to actually learn how to be a woman. Once you find that man who like actually wants to be with you and wants to have his life share it with you, shut the fuck up, make him a sandwich, and let him do his thing. Now, if he happens to fail on his responsibilities, as in he's not holding it down or holding the roof down or all that stuff, by all means, practice hypergamy. Because yes, you still gotta look out for you, but you shouldn't be like so selfish in the middle of it. If this man that you decided to be with, this is where the loyalty and stuff stabs at men, because we're about loyalty, we're about honor. We have that code that's still in us. So if you have that in the back of your head, I'm just going to jump ship as soon as I feel any kind of trouble. That's where men get pissed off at. It's like, wow, really? I've been doing all this work here. I just had a little stressful one, just a little one. Things got shaky and you jump the ship like a rat. And that's where a lot of distrust from women come up. So show some loyalty to the man that before you get in there, before you establish the relationship, show some freaking loyalty. Let the man do his thing. Let the man be a man. If he fails, like the ship crashed, yes, jump ship, because the ship is crashing. Not just because I had to row just a little bit harder. You know, you feel me what I'm saying right there?
No, totally agree. 100%. I totally understand too. It makes sense, and I agree with that. Me asking that question and me questioning her saying downgrade, I understand it. I understand the concept. But when I said like, why should men downgrade? And I'm simply saying that because I'm pointing out the point of the fact that it's okay for us to do that because that's a part of our position in terms of finances, right? But, you know, I believe she was the woman that said it before where she was talking about women settling or having to settle and women don't want to settle. But it's like, if anything, men are. If anything, we're the ones who have to settle, or we tend to settle because of our position. So me, I'm not opposing that. I'm not opposing the fact that obviously we're going to get a woman who doesn't make as much money. That's fine. I'm cool with it. But I'm just saying to point out where they're somewhat delusional about it though, like as if they're settling, when really it's us who settles. You know, when really we are the one who settles in that aspect.
A lot of women are very self-serving. Someone wanted to throw me under the bus saying, "Oh, this guy hates women." I'm like, no, I just realized that they're very self-serving. So they operate on a very high survival thing when it comes to dealing with a man. So yes, when it comes to a certain man at a certain class or status, they don't want to go below that. That's why it's harder when women would do their own thing. They make their own money. Those expectations for the men go higher.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are making their own money, they're pushing their own sense of survival higher in their head to unrealistic expectations 100%, rather than, okay, this man only makes so much money, I'm with him, but I don't want to downgrade below that. So when they come to making their own money, they push that delusion even higher for these other men.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what they've been taught to do. And it's understandable. I understand it. They bear children, like women bear children, which is totally understandable. Of course, they're going to want to find the greatest chances of their survival and their children's survival. I totally understand that. And I don't disagree with it. I'm just saying they just need to accept the fact that men are settling as well. And if anything, we're settling more than them. At least, all right, this is the best way I can put it. Say a woman gets with a man that doesn't have a good amount of money, right?
Okay.
They get together. He ain't got money like that. He could be broke. I mean, he could be just making it, man. Paycheck to paycheck. And he meets a woman and they meet each other, right? They get together. Now say the chick, she's actually doing a little better financially, Let's say the first guy that I'm talking about makes about, I don't know, 40,000 a year. And say the chick that he hollered at and met or whatever, and they start a relationship, she's making like 75, right?
Mm-hmm.
The girl's complaining about it. She's like, "Oh, I don't want to downgrade," in which I understand. But if that woman does downgrade and get with that guy who only makes $40,000 a year, that guy could potentially become a millionaire simply because of what his role is and what men instinctively want to do. And that's become the greatest provider that they could be for their family and for their significant other and their family. So essentially, women could somewhat possibly benefit even when they downgrade financially with a man, because that man may mess around and start a business, get promoted, find a job that he's actually good at, learn a trade or a specialty, and make way more money.
I think that is a gamble that a lot of women are not willing to do. And personally, I don't blame them on that front because, as I said, men are what we do. So hopefully that when you deal with a man, more often than not, you're going to deal with a man like you're getting him at his highest level of income more often than not. So if he's making just 40,000, that's probably what he's going to do for the next 20, 30 years.
That's not true. I hate to cut you off, Tony, but that's not true, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why it's not true. Because statistically, men reach their financial prime between the ages of like 38 and 46.
Okay.
They reach their financial prime between the ages of about 30. I think it's between like 35 and 45. Right. And obviously, we're talking to people who's probably like guys our age or younger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got guys who watch that's like in their early 20s, man, still trying to figure things out. Another point I want to make about it too is you understand that the percentage of the United States in terms of men, it's only 5% of the men in the United States that make over $100,000 a year.
Okay.
Only 5%, bro. So my point is women, they don't really have that many options. Like they have to gamble because there's anywhere from 8 to 9 women to a man in the United States. So they have to. This is what I mean about the delusion of women. Like this is the thing I'm trying to point out about the delusion of women. They don't understand these facts. They don't realize, and that's why you get so many women that end up getting hurt because they're getting cheated on and all these different things, because there are literally 9 women to each man, and then only 2% of those men are making the kind of money that they even want to get or they feel like they should get out of a man. You know what I'm saying? especially with women even making more money right now. Like even with women getting jobs and they're actually paying women more money now. So that's why I'm saying if they had any type of logical intelligence, that ain't a bad gamble. It's either take your chance with somebody who is making some kind of money and deciding to do something, or not being married at all. Because she might have that $75,000 a year, but if she got that attitude that people who are in that 1% of men, they ain't gonna want to marry her or fuck with her either.
Mm-hmm.
So her best bet is to get in where she fit in, because she might, like Kevin Samuels used to say, she gonna fuck around and die alone. Unfortunately,
I do feel that if she tries to wait too long, if she does try to wait too long, because their birthing rates of about 30, I think it's the max before things start really going downhill. Eggs start frying. But I do believe that a man, let's just say a man is older. He's about 40 some years old. A woman's going to have to learn how to deal with the fact that you are a sexual object to that man who reaches his financial peaks especially in his later years. Because when we get a little older, yeah, we get a little unattractive, blah blah blah. But that's not where our focus should be, and women do focus on that a lot. So you're going to have to deal with a man who's making a lot of money, probably ain't got a lot of time to spend with you, but you don't got a lot of time with those eggs. And that's a lot of things, and that's that hurry up factor is being pushed by women, especially versus men. Men, there's no reason for us to hurry. Like you said, when we get older, we make more money. That's how it typically rolls. So if a young woman gets with an older man who's at a more significant financial level, you have better odds of surviving a lot better versus dealing with a man who's still young and you don't know how well established he is or anything like that. We got a lot of dudes out there who are in their young 20s and they don't feel necessarily motivated to make money, or just a regular degenerate. I can't tell you how many women around here already heard stories. Oh no, he doesn't make any money. Well, what'd you expect? He's young and dumb. He's young, he's on drugs, and the other bitches freaking let him punch you in the eye and shit like that. Doing all this fuck shit in front of your kids. So why aren't you freaking aiming up when you're young yourself, aiming up at the men who are in their 30s and 40s and actually got some establishment? So I think it'll be a safer bet not to mess with the men who are not still discovering themselves. I mean, yeah, you could. There is that gamble that could win. You could be a lotto winner. But I think it's a safer bet to deal with the older, more established men who actually have that concrete foundation versus the younger upstart, because we don't know where his mentality is. He hasn't established it yet. I think that would be better odds for their survival.
Yeah, I can see that. And I understand that, and I agree with that too. Just being realistic though, there's just not that many options for women, unfortunately. Like that when you get higher up in age and the financial stability that you talk about, or that they be talking about, the options is so limited. So I guess, and I feel what you're saying. You're making total sense. I'm focusing on the facts concerning it and like being realistic. Like these women, they're delusional, you know. And I will say this too. Some of those young women actually are getting with older men, and some of those women are smart, and they're doing that simply for the reason that you're saying. But
and those women right there, yes, like you said, those are the smarter women. And another drive factor that women need in order to help this survivability is the willingness to compete with other women. Remember, like we said at the beginning of the video, we are the prize. All we're talking about right here is men's money. Who has the most money so a woman can be the most comfortable? That makes us the prize. Just by hearing that and having this thinking, the ladies may not want to say it because they're a little egos, but what are we discussing? So the women who are willing to compete against the other women, that means you're willing to run around the block a few more times and lose a little extra weight. You're willing to shut the fuck up. I don't care if the man says something the most sexist thing possible. You heard me and you shut the fuck up because you know I'm right. Then you're making yourself more valuable to a higher ranking man than you would if you would just run off the mouth. Oh, I don't think that's right. Not our women. Yeah, as soon as you say that, I'm cutting you off. Yeah, let me hear you say not all one time. Go ahead.
Word. But I totally, I agree with that. Yeah.
Versus the other woman who just shut up and freaking brought me them cookies. Who do you think's gonna win?
Bingo. But that furthers my point. That's why women, obviously, yes, their first choice should be that. But being realistic, how many of those women are actually going to achieve that? That's all right. That's the best way.
It's doggy dog out. When this relationship thing, a lot of women and men, unfortunately, have this fairy tale ending. It's not that way. It's dog eat dog. A lot of them, even men, are competing with each other to see how many women they can rate. We compete with each other all the time. We're more direct about it. Women tend to be very indirect because they just like, oh, I don't want to. They're manipulative. They like to talk their little shit behind each other to set it up, but they just don't want to admit it. Be honest with the game. That's why I even try to tell the young cats, when you're 25, and let's just say the Romeo and Juliet factor didn't play out. Once you hit the age of 25, acknowledge the game for what it is: sex and resources. And basically, you have to play it out that way. You're competing with other men, not with the more money you make, the more you're competing with men, because that basically means how many more bitches you can have. Let's just call what it is. And a woman, the more you shut the fuck up and the more you remain hot and put the fork down, then the more valuable you are to those men, and you win versus the women. The woman who shuts the fuck up and weighs the least and actually maintains her hotness the longest is the one who's going to win out when it comes to those top tier men. And you have to accept this, ladies. It's dog eat dog. Or there's the other option is you don't have to compete with the game. Buy a dog, die alone. You can do that too.
So I totally agree with that. Everything you're saying is facts. We are both adding clarity, and that's what I love about me and your partnership in this. You know what I'm saying? Because we can give two different perspectives and bring a full spectrum of clarity. And I love the things that you're hitting on. And apart from, and obviously I agree with that. Women, y'all they're for sure have to compete for them dudes that's making way more, over 200,000. There's no question or debate. But for those women who compete and don't make it, but still have potential, there's men who's making 40,000 a year that will end up being a great man and potentially could even become financially successful. That's the point I'm making, because we got to think about how big that percentage is of all those other men. And at that point, women don't got no other choice. So they can either keep demanding all this shit and having all these highest expectations and arguing with the dude who make $40,000 a month, or they can accept that man for who he is and find a man in that percentile who shows ambition and has some type of, has ambition. I mean, that's all we need. That's all men need is a dream and ambition and something to follow and hit. And then they could eventually end up having what they want in that man, because all these women are not going to get those top tier guys. But there are men who come from the mud, like me, and I know some other guys who come from the mud who have become very financially successful. I'm talking about millionaires. I'm not a millionaire, but not yet, but I know some who've become millionaires. And those women, if they find the right guy, they could tap in and then actually inherit all of that. Instead of fighting with us men, instead of arguing with us men, instead of competing and down talking and belittling the guy because he's only making 40,000. That's my point I'm trying.
It's basically, I like how it boils down to that. I remember this woman was talking some shit. Oh, you can't afford me, and I was like, so you're a whore. You admit it. Your access to your pussy is for debate, negotiable prices. That's what you're saying.
So how much is it? Like, what is it going for?
Just so I have a number in my head, maybe later I can save up, and there it is.
All right, we'll get back into this video.
If women historically married up, wouldn't that mean that men historically married down?
Facts.
I mean,
so who's really settling for who?
Facts.
But
in society, women have always been the prize. So it's
What?
the woman trying to earn the woman's attention. I mean, the man trying to earn the woman's attention or
What?
win her over. So, and then,
Yo, come on, man. And that's the fucking problem. That is the issue right there. That's where us men, we gotta wake the fuck up and we gotta stop moving like that because those are simps who are doing that. Trying to earn the woman's attention. What the fuck is you trying to earn that for?
It's like you after 25, you got to cut off all the simping. You got to focus on your task, your purpose, and if a bitch likes it and wants to follow behind, so be it. And if he doesn't, so be it. You got to stay on your purpose.
Straight up. But that just proved the point I was just saying. She literally just solidified my point. That's how these women think. They think like that. And look at her friend. Hold up, wait. Look at her friend is looking at her. Yo, you see that? You see she looking at her? She's like, nah, bitch, you wrong. That is not the truth.
Now, is she going to say something to push back on her? That's what I want to hear. I see the look, but is she going to say it to push back?
I think she is, man, because that look is bold. That look is bold as shit.
at the end of the day, we're the catch. So it's the man trying to get us.
Like,
so
nah.
no, he's not marrying down, even
like,
if
nope.
per se I don't make as much as he does, because again, he's happy to have me on his arm.
Which gender is more likely to practice
Oh, they
hypergamy?
ain't playing. Maybe they'll go back to it.
Females.
Females? Why do you say men? Why do you say females?
It's just naturally in them to do that.
No,
What?
females marry higher up all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
They marry for money.
Okay, so they're not gonna mess with a guy that's broke. I mean, if you're a guy that's broke and you have nothing to offer a woman, right? Why would a woman mess with you? Most women will not. Okay, so
Yeah.
you got to have something
That's
going
true.
for you as a guy. A good personality, good looks. None of that means nothing. Most women want.
When was the last time you did a proper cleanse of your intestines? Maybe you do them often. Maybe you've never done one.
This morning when I had a pot of coffee, I shat everything out.
This guy, man. I'm about to be competing with that dude pretty soon here, for sure. You can hear the video, right? Can you hear it?
And as a lifestyle.
Like when you talk about the big dream is like, oh, I want to live in maybe a big house and marry into a good life and stuff like that.
But I think where we can
marry into a good life.
As it is right now.
You heard that shit? Marry into a good life.
So they're saying it. It's like they I love when they tell on themselves. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's like when they say it when they're confronted, but then how do they act when they're actually in the motion of trying to establish a relationship? It's totally different. Their ego gets in the way of what they actually admit to.
Exactly.
Definitely.
It depends how good your education is, and in our case, our education would be just like the man.
Definitely, but that's like the American dream.
Okay. If women historically married up, wouldn't that mean that men historically married down?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
So
the way you
who's
put it together, yes.
so who's really settling for who?
I think as soon as you get married, the man settled for the women.
The man is always settling. In every situation, the man always has to settle at a certain point, because there's no woman that you're going to meet that's going to check every single box. Eventually, you're going to have to settle.
Okay. Is hypergamy for women ultimately about security and survival?
I can't say that. I have to disagree, because a lot of women, like, about those two definitely, but financially, that's a big thing.
Isn't that a byproduct of evolution? I mean, didn't women want to secure the best genes for their offspring? Isn't that a primal instinct?
Yeah.
So then wouldn't it be about security and survival?
Yeah. I have to agree then, yeah.
Is hypergamy...
See, why'd you beat around the bush? You know, we just discuss that. It's like this, they're trying to survive. Cool. And you're like, well, I don't want to say it, but you want to do it.
Clearly.
Ladies, quit trying to play the audience, try to tell everybody the politically correct or the thing that makes your immediate audience the most comfortable. Say the fucking truth, not your truth, the truth. Damn.
And you know what they do?
You don't want to work. You don't want to be out there scrapping and shit. You want to freaking have a man to do it for you. Cool. Now humble yourself to humble yourself. Make a sandwich and give that man what he wants so he can give you what you want. Simple shit.
It's their sister code shit. And they ride for their sister code. I'm telling you, a woman could be completely wrong, bro, and they will stand by their side. I got to rewind it, though, because I ain't going to lie, Slid took a quick piss, so I'm gonna bring it back real quick.
That's why I was curious about the other woman. Is she actually going to say something against him?
Because you see how she was looking. She was looking at her like, bitch, you wrong. You're fucking wrong. Like 100%. She's like, so I feel like they got to go back to it. But I'm gonna rewind it real quick because I missed this part. I had to slide and take a piss. So
just like the man.
Definitely, but that's like the American dream.
Okay. If women historically married up, wouldn't that mean that men historically married down?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean,
so
the way you put it together, yes.
Yeah.
So who's really settling for who?
I think as soon as you get married, the man settled for the women.
The man is always settling. In every situation, the man always has to settle at a certain point because there's no woman that you're going to meet that's going to check every single box. Eventually, you're going to have to settle.
Okay.
To a certain
is
degree.
hypergamy for women ultimately about security and survival?
You got something
Pause
to
it
say?
real quick. Pause it real quick.
Yeah, if ever you want to say something, bro, just go ahead and get into it. I'll pause it.
Okay, that statement right there. She said, a woman's not going to meet every check in the box, so eventually you're going to settle. What if more women actually admitted that to themselves when it came to selecting men?
That is
You're not going to necessarily find Prince Charming out there. Prince Charming's going to just swoop in on his white stallion and kiss you and break the curse and all that bullshit. It's not going to fit that little narrative in your head. You got to deal with reality. There are working class men out here, maybe 40, 50, 60, will probably never even see $80,000 a year in their life. But that man will take care of you.
Right.
So yes, you're checking the box. He's not fitting all the checks in the box. He looks like me, fat and ugly, but yet he's willing to take care of you. So don't you still win your survival? Because she's about to answer that question about the survivability of trying to do the hypergamy thing. Okay, if you got a man who's provided and protected for you, you win, right?
And he's
you didn't have to go into college debt. You didn't have to talk about your big brain education. You didn't have to do none of that shit. All you had to do was just shut up, make that man happy with some cookies and sex. Boom.
Make that man some oven baked peanut butter cookies and some shit, some cookie dough cookies or something, and hook him up. Like at the end of the day.
Did you go peanut butter?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Straight up. I fucks with him fresh out the oven. Ooh. But anyway, you ain't never had those?
No, just got me thinking about them right now. Wow.
Do you like to do shit like do you like to like kind of make stuff like that, like for yourself, like snacks and shit? I'm telling you, man, you should try it though.
Peanut butter cookies, if they got the peanut butter morsels in it too, that's just a little extra something. They're damn delightful.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's been a while since I did it. I think it was like last year, but I literally made them from scratch. I like doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hooked them up. I hooked up like some shit, peanut butter and shit. If you want to go get the nuts, you can get them. Pause, but you know, you can get them in there, mix it in, and it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But nah, for real though. Yeah, what you said is facts, man. And like, that's really all it is. And these women, I think that women are starting to wake up. You know what I'm saying? I think they're starting to see it. But what you said, though, their best bet, and that was the point I was trying to say earlier, man, their best bet is to actually settle for that guy who's making however much he's making. As long as he can, you know, kind of sustain himself financially and sustain y'all, settle for that guy. Because guess what? He might mess around and be one of them guys that enter into the 1%. And that was just the main point I was trying to make earlier. if that's what they really want, they might fuck around and get it. And if they don't, what do they lose? You still got somebody who can take care of you somewhat. You might not be living lavishly, but shit, you got what you need.
Man, a lot of people do not appreciate the bare necessities like that. Having your 4 walls, some food, and just being able to put some money to the side for that rainy day, you're golden. That is basic. That's the basic blueprint of the American dream right there. There are different levels, yada yada. Some people are going to go to Fiji. Another person probably take a plane trip to Hawaii. Whatever. As long as you got those bare minimums right there, anything on top of that is just gravy.
It is.
I love
But
it.
hey,
It's simple.
But that's the thing, that hypergamy thing. There's good women out there, man. There's good women out there who don't put so much value on money. You know what I'm saying? And those are the women who really benefit. And those are women who tend to be the most happiest throughout their life. So women who don't put all the value in money and understand that there's value in people. And that's where the real value is.
I can't say that. I have to disagree because a lot of women like about those two definitely, but financially that's a big thing.
Isn't that a byproduct of evolution? I mean, didn't women want to secure the best genes for their offspring? Isn't that a primal instinct?
Yeah.
So then wouldn't it be about security and survival?
She knows to try to play the shit
I
off.
have to agree then, yeah.
Is hypergamy for women ultimately about security and survival?
I think yes.
It could be.
Is
Guys,
that
what are we doing?
Is that a byproduct of evolution?
Well, yes, women look for attractive traits in their male to secure them and their offspring. That's like
I think
the whole thing.
men.
We're talking about women. You want to bring up men?
What are you doing?
Exactly, right?
Sorry, I just took my vocal.
Come on,
Gets
man.
the best of me sometimes.
He's burning that butter. With the word man.
Marry down because the girl's good looking, and women marry up because for like money and stuff.
And they have.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. That was actually some real shit what she just said, though. Typically, that's what men tend to do, and I'm not gonna say that it's even the best thing for men. There's nothing wrong with wanting to, be with the hottest chick you can find, but a lot of them hot chicks, man, I'm telling you, they got all these other simps up their ass, bro. And I could bring. Now, I ain't saying anything wrong. There's a such thing as beautiful women who will be faithful to you and who will, love you and be loyal and appreciate you. But, there's more of a higher percentage of those women who got certain shit going on simply because of that. Simply because they're so beautiful, unfortunately. So
a lot of women do get spoiled by their look because they know they're attractive. That's why, I guess a little off topic where women that whole statement of women mature faster than men. No, they become sexually selective faster than men. So as soon as those mosquito bites start developing, they know that men are going to come after them, and they automatically know who's going to get the vitamin P, who's not. They start making those decisions. And the problem with that is they don't mature beyond that because they're getting their survival needs met. No real experience. So here they go. They can go all the way into their freaking 60s. If they have maintain a level of hotness, they'll still think like an immature little girl.
Facts.
And it's going to take it's more than likely going to take a big old reality check to get them like, hey, you know what? I'm not that hot and fresh 21-year-old anymore. I got to freaking humble myself to a degree. And again, on men, just to even it out, on men, we don't become mature till later because of our sexual selectiveness. When we're young, ain't no such thing as bad pizza. But when we start actually getting experience and developing stuff for ourselves, gathering our resources, hold up. I can't just be building my life with any old bitch. I got to have a bitch who's actually down for me and whatnot. So that's where you start maturing, where you be like, just because she's hot, like we said before, just because she's hot, she got these big old boobies, doesn't mean that she's all that. Look, what's that body count? That she got debt out the wazoo. She's doing all this bunch of mess. Where this other one, man, she's a little chunky, but at least she knows how to bake them cookies. Peanut butter.
Bingo. And a lot of these chicks, a lot of these guys, and who else fall victim to it too? Unfortunately, some of these older, successful men fall victim to it as well. Because they're looking for that beautiful, sexy, awesome looking woman, and not realizing that the very reason why these beautiful, sexy, awesome looking women are interested in them is because of the money. And it's simply because of the hypergamy. And granted, even if they're moving in hypergamy, which isn't necessarily terrible, then they just have to deal with the fact or the possibility that the woman may be a gold digger. You know what I'm saying? She may really be after the money mostly, and that's why she's fucking with him. So
that's why you got to be stern with your money and be like, hey, you know what? If you make big buku money, you top dollar man, here come the women, right? The hot bitches, the hottest bitches you can afford are coming at you, right? They have no choice but to give you free samples. So you treat them like an expensive car. They give you the test drive, the free sample. You run over a few speed bumps. You feeling nice because you got that free sample, that test drive. As soon as that dealer comes at you and saying, hey, what can I get you this time to buy? You say you think about it and you walk away. You walk away. You got what you wanted. She came at you because you're making top dollar. That's what she's going to have to do. She's going to have to give you a free sample. After you enjoy it for the time being, you see that price tag, it's time to go. She could try to be a gold digger. She didn't dig your gold. She didn't get any. Yeah, she's all that. I guess it's superficial. We'll call it that. Superficial. She's only into you for your money. Cool. You still got the sample of vitamin P, and now you're moving on. And you didn't lose any money. You win.
Yeah, I mean, fuck them. If you find out that was the case, yeah, you don't lose anything. But I'm just saying for the guys who just don't know that. You know what I'm saying? For now, obviously, when men get money, they eventually learn. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully. But women have become so crafty. Women have become so crafty with it, especially these types of women, that they even take on a certain personality. They learn new strategies to really make that man like fall in love. It's a way of seduction. So I think it obviously comes on the man. The man has to obviously take care of himself. But I'm just saying, people with money need to watch out too.
I want to disagree with the calling women crafty. I think it's just men are desperate. Because I'm
talking about men who make money though. Why, if they got all that money, they have options, so they're not really desperate.
Well, simps get old and make money too. Look at Bill Gates. He's a prime example. He got divorced right not too long ago.
I mean, yeah, he was married for some time though. But I get your point though. He got in the end. He got actually that proves my point. That's what I'm saying. Like he got played. So he met her. They was together. They got married. Then in the end, what happened? That's the point I'm trying to make. Like some women are crafty enough to actually convince the man that they are the woman that they should be with and that they should marry. You see what I'm saying? That's my point.
I just don't give women the level of craftiness. Yeah, they got the little chameleon tactic. But if you're desperate, you're going to allow them. I don't think women like to believe they're clever. I don't believe they're clever. It's just that men are desperate for pussy. So they know the traps. Men talk about the traps and the deceit and the lies all the time. But they're so desperate for pussy, they'll put up with it to get a shot at it. That's where I'm from. And then women, because
that's where I have money. Yeah. That's where you get that much money.
And then the women just believe that they're crafty. No, you're not. Men are just desperate. There's a difference. If you tell them just that little sob story to give them that little bit of hope, he'll do anything to freaking chase that pussy. And yeah, a lot of men are fucking desperate that way.
I hear you, but I just don't think that men who are highly successful have to be that desperate. Like Bill Gates, he could have had whatever fucking pussy he wanted mostly. You know what I'm saying?
He could have, but there's a lot of men who you can be successful and a simp at the same time.
I hear you, bro. I hear that, but I think that's something we just got to agree to disagree on because, like, I just once you reach that level of success, we talking a whole nother level. Like, you can't even put Bill Gates in the same category as, like, say, a typical guy who makes, say, $700,000-$800,000 a year or something. I mean, if a guy's making $1 million a year, I mean, you consider well off. You're making $1 million a year, shit, you rich, right? You can't compare them to Bill Gates though. Like that kind of money, that's different right there. That's a whole different level. You know what I'm saying?
The money doesn't dictate the mentality though behind them. I mean, let's just say, I don't know, one day we tapped on Bill Gates' level. But by our knowledge and our experience, we're not going to let freaking some bitch come up and take up our money. We're not going to do it. That's not necessarily the same for Bill Gates, because apparently he was desperate enough to get hooked up with a woman. And if you making buku money, like I just said, you gotta just take the free sample and go. You know they're going to throw it at you because you got the money. So it's just about peeping the game. Back in the Marine Corps, there were dudes. I already knew there's going to be I think their term is barracks bunnies. I think that was the term. Women basically just trying to hook up with men for the benefits of the marriage and yada yada. Already knowing this stereotype, and yet I'm seeing my other freaking Marines who are aware of it too, but yet they put themselves in those situations. I'm like, why would you do that? Obviously, she's a freaking barracks bunny hooker. What are you doing? But I see it.
That's true, but you can't compare that to Bill Gates, though. That's my point. Like money doesn't change your mentality, but money does give you options, though. That's my point.
That's true.
See what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to make. Like the kind of options Bill Gates has, somebody at the Marine Corps couldn't even imagine that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of options that Bill Gates had, we ain't even got to go there. We can go to a guy who's literally well off and he makes like $1 million a year. His options ain't gonna be Bill Gates' options. That's my point. I think that Bill Gates married someone because he fell in love with someone. Like when you got money, it's nothing wrong with trying to find a wife or having a wife and children. You know what I'm saying? When you're well off, and that's my point. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, Tony. Hey, if you choose to not fuck with women, you know what I'm saying, and you just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play it out and be single, that might be your best bet. Because if you think there ain't no clever women in this world, bro, you're gonna be deceived, bro. I'm letting you know right now. You're gonna be deceived. There's women out here who's very crafty. If anything, a lot of these women became that way because of specific reasons. They had to be that way. They had to figure out ways to maneuver and to survive. And their role in their position.
They're welcome to try. They're welcome to try.
But yeah, I feel you though, man. I think I'll say this. I understand your perspective. Like I understand where you're coming from. I get your point. You know what I'm saying? I get the point that you're making. The money doesn't make the mentality. No, it doesn't. Money doesn't make you masculine either. I mean, I totally agree with that. But money does give you options. Like Prince. Would you consider Prince to be a masculine man?
Consider him to be a masculine man?
Yeah.
No.
But that man had options of women, boy.
But he did have options of women. And using those options, that's cool. That's all well and good. So if you're a man with options, there's no reason for you to commit to one. Unless I think a lot of men, like I want to throw Bill Gates back under that bus. The reason he committed because he thinks like a typical simp. It's like that's your goal to be. That's your goal to be all loved up and having that fairy tale ended. That's like your ultimate goal, and you do what you got to do to try to make that happen. And then you put someone else on that same level, and with the options, he's just going to exercise his options. He's not going to commit. There's no reason to. You got options.
I understand that concept, and I think that's where the red pill community becomes a bit shallow, though. Like I understand the concept, but I think that's where the red pill community becomes shallow, because making a statement like that means that it's simpish for a man to find a wife, essentially.
Not if you no, you got to have the caveat of that. The caveat is that you got to try your best to maintain masculine frame. You got to, if you build this castle, you build your castle first. You got to have the balls and the backbone to protect your castle. The woman is winning by being involved with you. She needs to, it's like you got to do your best to make sure she understands that. And if she tries to step out of line, that vagina starts talking back, all that nagging, it's time to bounce. You're replaced. You're fired. That's how a successful man's got to operate if he wants that. Build your castle first for the family that you have in mind, but you don't put yourself in a desperate position for the female. The female is just something that you can afford. Yeah, I know that does sound shallow as hell, but that's when you become a big time successful man like that. Like you look at a woman as in, can I afford her or not? Not as in the lovey-dovey thing. It may help, but that's back when you're 20. That's when you're under 25. If it happens,
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I do. I just think that there's nothing wrong with a masculine man trying to find a woman that he could share his life with, not even being in love or a happy ending. Marriage ain't all about love. Marriage is it's lineage. You know what I'm saying? It's when you're a king, you have a queen, you have a lineage. You have yeah. That's the best way I could put it. It's lineage, man. Period. And some men, obviously, they make the mistake, or they choose the wrong person, or they fall in love with someone who they find out wasn't the right one. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I get what you're saying. I totally get it, but I just think for a man who's successful and has options and went through a lot of options, and then eventually finds somebody and figures out, oh, this is somebody that I want to be my wife. It is what it is. I think that'd be a terrible way to live if you are financially successful and you tell yourself, damn, well, I can't commit to one and settle down with one woman because of all this money and all these options. And granted, even if you do marry a woman and you did exercise your options, I don't think it's anything wrong with still having that wife and having those children and having a lineage. I'm thinking about lineage. And a masculine man respects that.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, if that's what you work for, do your best. It's like, yes, you gotta filter the women as much as you can, because you got to do your best to protect that lineage. And just realize the world we live in right now, big daddy government plus that simp army, a lot of women can just wreck your shit or take away half of it like that. And that's what men have to be cautious about. So even if you do become big time successful, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to protect your assets versus just over a vitamin P that's supposed to be yours for the rest of your life after that point. Men have to really. It doesn't have to be the end goal for a man to try to do that. And guess what? We have women to blame for that because they want it to be equals. So to adhere to these traditional masculine roles, it's not a necessity anymore. You can do it. You still have the option. You can do it. But you don't have to, even though you want to pursue money. Pursue money because you want to. Hey, I want to make freaking $1 million. You work hard, boom, I got $1 million. But why should you risk it just because a female's like, ooh, I think you're cute now?
That's stupid. Yeah, that's stupid. That yeah. Like if a guy does that, obviously, yeah, that's stupid. That's.
So it's just being aware of the risk. More money, more problems. More money, more problems.
Hell yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah. I'm sure Bill Gates been rich for a minute. I'm sure he figured that shit out. He's been rich for 20 plus years. So I'm sure he figured out like, yo, I can't just be fucking with any bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure. All right.
Have to be good looking. But you know what? All men end up ugly anyway, so who even really cares?
I'm not going to include myself in this, but a lot of women are just looking for the richest man.
If anything, it's the other way around. Women, unfortunately, end up not looking as good as they did. I mean, men too, both.
Makeup is with.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
They just want to find the one with the most money.
And
whereas some are looking for some that will accept them. It's different for everyone, but majority are looking for the one with the most
So
money.
do you think that women are looking for sugar daddies and men are looking for trophy wives?
Oh, shit. I gotta agree with you on that one. Guys, don't fight me.
Does hypergamy mean that we always continue to choose the best option?
That's where dudes got to watch it. Even the rich dudes. That was my point earlier. They the ones who got to watch it too. They looking for that trophy wife, and that trophy wife might do with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? What you're saying about
that's cool. But I just wish people were more honest about that. It had to drag her. You had to drag her so long. Come on, say it. Yes, you know it's true. So women want to be taken care of. Okay, if you get yourself a well-off dude, then realize what you're there for. You're there to look good and be pretty on his arm. As long as he's taking care of you, you win. It's a win-win scenario. The dude's got his hot bitch he could flaunt to his other buddies. I'm willing to bet that you still have some dudes today in your friend pool that will come at you and say, "Hey, look at this new girl I'm messing with." It's what guys do. It's what guys do. So why not be honest about it? You want to be taken care of. A dude wants a hot bitch to bang and brag to his other dudes. You both win if you just work together and be honest on that front. Damn.
That's it. It's the bottom line,
Option and never settle.
No, because a lot of women settle.
Right, but does hypergamy mean that women will always continue to choose the best option and never settle?
No, because a lot of women settle.
Right, but do they want to settle?
No.
So they would want to choose the best option, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, women are picky as is, so it's like they're gonna always choose the best option for who they want and who they want to be with, because they're not gonna settle for less. They're gonna settle for the top dog.
Some women are so set on not settling that they never find that perfect person. And it's just, they just keep looking, and they're going to look until they find no one, because no one is going to check all those boxes.
And you know who do that the most?
Is hypergamy the equivalent?
You know who do that shit the most? It'd be the women who take on this whole independent approach and they make all this money. And then it even heightens even more. Their whole expectations even heighten even more, and they end up never finding somebody. They're the women who actually start making some money, start doing their thing, right? Because they took on this independent boom 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 shit, and they end up being the person who never finds somebody because their fucking expectations are so high, and then the guys who are making the money don't want nothing to do with them because they're like, oh, you think you all this because you're making this money? Fuck out of here. That's not what I wanted in a woman. Mm-hmm. So then they end up. And those women end up having to downgrade too, because the rich motherfuckers really don't be wanting to mess with because of their energy. It's crazy.
All that ambitious stuff. Just had a dude not too long ago. He got himself. I've seen all the red flags of her being an ambitious woman. So it's like not relationship girlfriend material. I'm already seeing this. Dude, the same age. He talks about I get bitches. Yeah, you got this bitch just to flaunt to other guys because he's showing me the videos of them fucking, you fucking loser. And guess what? She ends up leaving his ass because she doesn't want to be a mommy to his son. Another encounter of him putting his dick in crazy. But it's like, you didn't see the red flags, Mr. I get bitches? Desperate ass motherfucker. I'm sorry, that clown.
No, I feel you, bro. Hey, that's a real thing right there. I know. I made that mistake, but it was never because of. It was definitely never because of desperation. I think I was dealing with a lot of stuff internally, and it caused me to be attracted to a woman who was dealing with a lot internally. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a lot of us men fall victim to that shit. Unresolved stuff with them, and it causes us to do those things. I think that's why. If I've ever put my dick in crazy, it was literally because of that. It was literally because I had unresolved things that I need to deal with. And a lot of men are dealing with that, man. Especially black men. It go all the way back. It go years and years back, man. Just generational traumas being passed down. So thankfully we all starting to wake up to a certain degree. Not all of us, but some of us.
Of men never.
I just been a dude of I appreciate the idea of cut my losses. Like, you know what? This just ain't working out. I gotta go. Yeah, but that's the kind of mentality I have. I gotta go.
Yeah, I finally got like that with my ex, and I'm glad I did, man. Dodged the bullet. All right.
Satisfied with only one chick.
I mean, a man of high status is always going to have multiple options. Like, that just comes with the man who has money like that or even has that type of quality of life.
Is hypergamy the equivalent of men never satisfied with only one woman?
Men is never satisfied. I don't even think it's about women. I think it's about men are just never satisfied, period. Money,
they're not satisfied with themselves. Men is not satisfied with.
Or is it men always wanting the girl with the best looks?
Yeah, they definitely want a pretty girl.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if women are always looking for the best option, wouldn't a man?
Hold on, she's talking about something. They're not satisfied with themselves. No, it's typically women who aren't satisfied with themselves more than men. especially when it comes to certain things.
That brings up another issue where, because we live in a feminized, gynocentric society, a lot of female natured mentality is pushed on men. They think we think like them. That's why when you hear a woman, a lot of times they're concerned about being cheated on so damn much, because that as soon as the better option pops up, you're going to freaking do what you can to freaking get the better option. That's what. Oh man, it's like when I hear that shit sometimes, I'm like, I'm not a woman. I don't think like you. Okay, I have this sense of consistency and a sense of loyalty, but it's like I'm also not going to be so unrealistic to certain expectations. That's all y'all miss. Not how. You're always clinging on to that 1 percentile hope and dream. I know you. That's woman think. Don't. And then when I hear grown ass men do that, I'm like, you're thinking like a woman right now. You need to stop.
That's a fact. Yeah, women tend to project a lot of their own feelings about themselves onto men, and men do it too. People actually do it. A lot of the times, what it is and I don't want to get too deep, but what it is it's like the shadow. It's the shadow self, right? And people tend to project their shadow self onto other people simply because they haven't really made peace with their shadow, right? They don't like, it's things about themselves that they don't like, right? So they tend to project that onto others. And I've noticed that women do it, and my own experiences. I can't speak for the entire world, but with my own experiences with women, I've noticed that women do it way more than men. The women that I've experienced and the men that I've been around, they tend to project that onto the man. So whether it's what they think they would do in a certain situation or scenario, how they feel like they will respond, what their perspective is concerning things, it's a projection. And a lot of that comes from toxic women. You know what I'm saying? It comes from women who are toxic. Most women who move in this energy are toxic. Like most women who are moving in this, like, they toxic. And they know it, or some of them don't know it. That's how toxic they are. They don't even know they're fucking toxic. They don't even know that they're dealing with issues that they need to resolve. And a lot of times that's really what it is with these women, man. It all comes from everything I said before. The root of it all, the media, the society, the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what it is, man. It's a projection. She said it. She said, men typically are, or men aren't satisfied with themselves. No, it'd be women, and it's usually their image. It's usually how they look. It's usually, men ain't really we don't talk to each other, bark to each other about, yeah, I don't like this fat that I got right here on my lower stomach. Like, we ain't gonna be talking to each other about that. Women usually talk about that shit.
Man, see, on that note, like I said, the women like to do that projection thing. Well, we got a lot of men who are raised in these single mother homes. That's how they learn how to do it. So whenever I hear women always do, well, men do it too. How did we fucking learn? We were raised by a lot of, yes, like you said, toxic ass women. And it's sad. I know it's something you don't want to say. Like a lot of people don't want to say, but it's like it's true. Like we said earlier, where these times of the single mother home and all that stuff was so good, why are we seeing these decline and all these problems so much? So and that was the problems right there. We got a lot of men. This dude really talked to me about his body, and it's like, dude, you are a man. Why are you so concerned about how you look? Like he swear to God told me about he wanted to lose 20 pounds, right? And so this is kind of my ball field, me being a gym guy, blah blah. And well, calories in, calories out, and also I see the food that you brought here. That a lot of that is really high in calories, not healthy. He wanted this. He turned on his ghetto ass mama attitude and wanted to say, "Well, I want to blame DoorDash because they keep bringing me stuff." DoorDash, the app that you have to download. You punch in what you want, hit accept, And then he's like, well, we're not going to remember it that way. And then he's always doing this thing with his gut where I'm sorry for doing it. I'm just doing it for the sake of the conversation. He was like, this other guy came in, talking about the 20 pounds. Yeah, I just got to do this 20 pounds right here. I'm like, you are a damn female. Look at you. Another dude said something very similar about, oh, man, I don't have any butt. See, I don't have any butt. I don't care about your butt like that. Just...
Yeah, like, come on, man. We're not worried about your butt, man. Like, and you know that, man. That's a good point. That's a good fucking point, man. You could tell what men were raised by toxic women because it shows. It shows in their character. It shows in their character. It shows the personality, all that. This is crazy.
Damn it, man. I'm sorry.
And you know what else is deep too about that shit? Like, men, and it's not always like single homes. Obviously, majority of it is single homes, single parent homes, but some homes are actually with a mother and a father, and the woman is toxic, and the father, unfortunately, is a simp. So he has two parents to look at. He's learning from his father's simpish ways, and he's learning from his mother's toxic ways. In which both are toxic too, because being a simp is toxic as well, whether we want to admit it or not. So, you know, that's another, possibility too, where this happens to the kids in general, girls and boys. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. But yeah, women, honestly, women are mostly dissatisfied with themselves. I hear women complaining about themselves, but I hear men complaining about themselves. You know, so.
No.
Always be looking for the best option as well.
Yes.
Okay, so is that kind of like a similar, comparable thing, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do squats and flies, but you ain't flying the gym. Introducing
everything you just said is about.
Rascal makes pumpers, stringers,
with their whack ass shirt,
that
none of that
pop.
shit.
Rascal uses
Look at
bright
his fucking
colors,
mustache.
dope
I don't even
designs, and
look at this
soft
dude's mustache. I don't even
so
want to
click
hear
the
this
link
nigga.
to get Rascal now.
I can't with these dudes, man. My man got the old school 1918. He got the 1918 curled up mustache, man. Talking about something. Homie got the what's his name? I can't think. Sherlock Holmes joint. Like,
wait, did he wear a mustache?
Sherlock Holmes? I feel like he did. I think he had like the, or maybe it wasn't Sherlock. You know what? That's a good question. Find out right now. While this thing is.
Okay. What is the difference between a hypergamous woman and a gold digger?
I feel like a hypergamous woman is looking for someone to do what we were used to back in the day, lead, be the breadwinner of the family, someone who is just the provider. A gold digger is someone who just wants. If you're in a hypergamous relationship, the woman is still providing, the woman is still doing, the man is doing a lot more. Gold digger is just going to take, never give, ever.
Okay, a gold digger is just looking straight for money.
Smart.
Like, they don't really care about.
She's very intelligent. I noticed that from the beginning. She made a couple statements, but she's not stupid though. I mean, she seems a bit aware of some facts.
What the guy looks like, what he has to offer. They just want the money. Well, actually, they do care about what he has to offer. If it's money and luxury or any type of things that they can get from him, then yeah, they'll do it. But you said hypergamy?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, if they go for that, they kind of want to find love in the sense of, quality of life that they have.
Do you find it hypocritical when parents advise their sons to avoid gold diggers while also advising their daughters to find a man who will take care of them?
A little bit. I mean, obviously, a woman.
So isn't hypergamy encouraged in women?
I feel like in this day and age with social media and everything, it is, yeah.
Of course, we're going to want to lead.
Yeah, that was a good question, man. That was a good question. I like that question. He's pretty much saying, okay, we have mothers obviously who are telling kids, and I mean even we are telling guys, you know, well, I have in the past, watch out for a gold digger, watch out for a woman who's all about your money, watch out for a woman who's highly interested in how much you make, talking about that on the first date. These are all red flags. But then obviously we also have daughters being encouraged. Oh, find a man who's, you know, very successful financially so that you could, you know, be secure. So it's like, wow, that's a pretty big dichotomy right there. And it's almost as if it's like kids being led into a contradiction. I mean, like you say, and which I totally agree with, it just makes sense for us all to just like accept the facts on the shit, like instead of arguing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like just accept it. Women want a man, obviously, who can provide security for them financially, and men want a woman, obviously, who's not going to be with them just for that. Because there's nothing wrong with a woman wanting a man who can financially take care of them and provide for them. There's nothing wrong with that. But if she's not interested in who he is as an individual, not interested in, you know, him, fuck the money. If he was to go broke, what you gonna do? You gonna leave him? You gonna divorce him? So you didn't really give a fuck about him to begin with. It was the money.
Yeah. Okay, I got 2 points on that. The one about the wanting more than the money, yes, because a man does want to be appreciated for who he is as an individual. We'll accept the role as being a provider, protector all damn day. Working 12 hours, we'll do what we got to do. But when we get home, we want that interpersonal time. We want that detox moment from the shit we had to do to make this happen. But then on the other note, if the man does go broke, I cannot blame a woman for leaving him. Maybe I don't know what kind of arbitrary time frame you want to give it to be like, let's see if something that can better happen. Can we still make this happen? Yada yada. I think that's too much of a love factor. If I'm looking at it as black and white and objective, it would be the better option for her to leave. Let's just say the husband gets into an accident. Now his legs broke, he can't walk again, he can't provide for his family. Why wouldn't a woman, after so many times, after so much, like try to find another man? Maybe not. I don't know. It's like I'm not trying to sound so cutthroat, as in like, oh, he broke and he's useless, but as in like, it's a hard decision to make. Like, yeah, you got some loyalty to him, but it's like, let me think about the bigger picture. And that man who cannot provide, cannot do his role anymore for his female, why wouldn't he set her free?
Well, no, you know, I agree with that. Nah, shit, bitch, if you want to leave, leave. You know what I'm saying? If a woman want to leave, she can go. But me personally, if I am not going to marry a woman that I thought for 1 second that if I lost all my money, she would just leave me because I don't have money anymore. I don't encourage any man to marry a woman like that. And I now, granted, I get your perspective. I don't invalidate it at all. I understand it. I get your point. Like, yeah, I understand why a woman would be like, okay, is this gonna work? You know what I'm saying? But a woman is supposed to be a helpmeet for a man. That's my belief. I believe that, you know, I'm not highly religious anymore, but I do believe in the Bible. I believe that, you know, God made Adam, and then God said that, you know, it is not right that a man should be alone, right? So he created Eve, and he created her from him, right? Out his rib. And the Bible even says that she will be a helpmeet to him, a helpmate, meaning helper. You know what I'm saying? So like, if he go broke, you're not gonna be by your husband's side and ride with him and try to be a helper in terms of trying to figure out what we're gonna do in this situation. Like, I believe that is a part of the role of a wife, right? I believe that that's the role of a wife. I do believe that the man is solely responsible for the main foundation of it all, right? Financial security, providing, protecting. 100% believe that, right? But at the end of the day, when you're with someone, y'all are partners. It should never be a situation where everything is just on one individual, because that's not a relationship and that's not two people, right? So when you're in a relationship with someone, it's all about balance. Meaning, if I need some help, you're there to help me. If she needs some help, I'm there to help her. That's what we're supposed to do as a unit and as a couple, right? So if the man has some unfortunate thing that happens or reaches some type of financial demise, I believe that it is in that woman, and she should take on that role to be a helper, to help. Not to just be like, oh, fuck it, I'm just abandoning this ship. This shit is over. Fuck it, I'm out of here. Deuces. Like, that's crazy. That she's like, oh, this ship has sunk. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like that. Yo.
See, I'm not saying the helper factor of y'all doing the ride or die method, the mentality. I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to invalidate it. However, it's like, I cannot blame, let's just say, like, you, the CEO of your company, and you got X amount of employees. Whatever happens about the company goes under, you can't employ them anymore. So the employees, it would be better of them not to go down with the ship, or just like, oh, maybe it'll turn out later. You ain't get no paycheck. You got to get a new job. You got to find a new boss.
But yeah,
so that's
you can't compare a job to that, though. You can't compare a business and employees and the relationship that you have as a CEO to your employees. You can't compare that to a marriage, dog. That's two different. That's two totally different dynamics.
But there are loyal workers to a certain company. Certain companies. Some people just like their job. They like the environment that much. They're loyal, and the company is for some reason goes under. They would be silly if the company's dead. There's nothing happening. They would be silly to try to ride it out with the company. They need to find a new job. They would have no choice in the fact. So that's how I'm looking at it, because I do put the mentality of when in relationships, you do have your leader and subordinate. So if the leader is not maintaining the foundation anymore, and whatever heart moment that you have, like, oh man, this sucks. Yeah, it does. What are we going to do? You got to think about survival at that point. You know, I do think maybe not the whole deuces factor, maybe not 100% there. Maybe not 100% there, but after you go through the drama, it's like, what are we going to do? It comes to that point where the heartfeltness is going to have to be put aside, and we got to think about what's best for us. I'm held up in this bed. I can't work. It's time for you to either get a job. Maybe you could take that option. I mean, it's like I said, I'm not going to validate what you said, because it is an option. That woman right now could become the breadwinner because she cares about that man so much. That is a possibility. But I want to say it would be a wrong thing if, hey, I can't be a provider anymore. So you're free. I set you free. But before you go, one last turkey sandwich.
Like, help me out, bitch. Shit. Make me a sandwich. At least before you go, at least make me a damn sandwich. But nah, I see, and I hear that. I hear that, bro. I totally hear that. But in my mind, I'm thinking, if this is a woman that I'm married and I committed myself to, and she committed herself to me, that when I offer that option, she gonna look at me and be like, Kevin, are you crazy? I ain't going nowhere. What the fuck is you talking about? Especially if we got kids, bro. Like, at that point, I'm her husband and I'm the father of her children. You gonna abandon me because I'm in a situation where I'm out for the count? You know, I see my mind. Why you think this podcast is called Virility Kings, bro? My mind be on like some king and queen shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't see a queen telling her king, I'm going to abandon you. Now, granted, if it's a situation where their lives are literally at stake, and I'm talking about on an emergency level, where it's either me or them, and I'm already kind of fucked up in the game, then yeah, I'm gonna tell them to go. I'm like, go, you know, but that's different. Right now, you know, we're talking about like a financial aspect, and I'm like, nah, bro, there's no way in hell. If I married a woman who could walk away from me like that when I'm down, and just be like, fuck it, I'm getting out of here because you down. I made a mistake in who I married. Period. And that actually falls back on the man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Yeah. Okay. But I feel your perspective too, man. That's why I love it, man. I like when we have different perspectives because it gives such a vast idea of topics and perspective or situations, and people that's watching, they can learn from it. They get Tony's perspective, they get mine. Some people may relate more to me, some people may relate more to you, and that's awesome. That's what it's about.
It's good to have a healthy discussion where it's not exactly an echo chamber. Yes, we have a common theme, but we do have different perspectives of that.
Yeah, because we're human beings, and that's how it should be. That's when you're in a toxic situation. It's when like there's this one narrative and it's this one perspective, and everybody's supposed to follow that. Like, nah, fuck that. We're two different people. We respect each other, and that also shows maturity too. Some people aren't mature to have a dialogue with someone that disagrees with them. They can't handle it. Like, it's too much of a trigger. It's too much this, that, and third. That's petty. I actually enjoy conversations where I disagree with people because shit, I might fuck around and really learn something. That's how I look at it. I see the value in that. If I'm talking to somebody that disagree with me, shit, I'm still paying attention. I'm like, all right, well, there may be something that I may be missing that I can gain out of what we're talking about. And I've always, I can't say I've always been like that, but for the most part, I've been like that as I grew up, as I got older. All right.
Shoot, maybe I'm actually wrong. I could be as confident as I am in my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. So that's why I like to hear debates too. I'm like, really, what's this point? I'm like, let's hear what you got.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Our children to the right direction, and if we're raising a son, we're gonna raise them to try to find a woman that can balance out their lives, whereas our daughters, we can't just, me personally, I would never let my daughter slack, but also a man who is able to provide is a man who I believe is able to lead a family and raise a family and make things what they should be.
People raise different. Some people might raise their kids like that, but at the end of the day, we all want our children to have the best in life, and it's better when they have a spouse that they parent approve of.
What is the difference between a hypergamous woman and a gold digger?
Oh, here she go.
Because again, if we're not just talking about finance.
Oh, come on.
What do you want?
It's their ass.
I want a job that I don't hate.
I bet you do. We all want a damn job that we don't hate.
Finances, Because again, if we're not just talking about finances, oftentimes people marry for love and stuff like that. So if there's other factors that are associated with that, then I would say that differentiates her from being a gold digger.
Do you think unconditional love is possible in a romantic relationship, or are people only as loyal as their options?
I think unconditional love is definitely a thing. If both partners are 100% invested, I'm almost positive that it will work. Curiosity will always be a thing, no matter what. That's something you cannot stop. But if you don't act on it, then yes.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything, while a woman's loyalty is tested when her man has nothing.
I feel like that is true. I feel like when a man is down and out, that's a woman's scapegoat to get out the relationship and out the system. Yep. And I feel like when a man is up and has everything, power, money, women, that's when you know if he really loves you and he's loyal, if he sticks by your side and holds you down, 10 toes down, always.
That's real.
I agree with that 110%. That's valid.
So wouldn't that mean that people are only as loyal as their options?
Oh, you're stressing me out. Yes.
She knows.
Telling me things that I never really thought about.
I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear.
My boyfriend just everything I need to hear.
Really, what you got with me?
Yeah.
Yo, you're
we didn't get the reporter you up on here. God damn.
Yo. He said, I ain't telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear, bitch.
Because she, you know how she's holding that resistance of that loyalty to the factor. A lot of people don't want to just flatly say that, but it is a factor. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I was trying to bring to the table when we was talking our back and forth there. It's like if your options are limited at this point, what do you want to do now that this shit's hit the fan? And people will have to come to a decision at that when they hit that point. It's like you don't want to say it because love and good vibes. Sometimes reality going to hit.
Yeah, and when it hit, that motherfucker hit hard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God! You're telling me things that I never really thought about.
I'm not telling you what.
That's when you know if he really loves you and he's loyal, if he's still by your side and hold you down 10 times.
That's valid.
So wouldn't that mean that people are only as loyal as their options?
Oh, you're stressing me out. Yes. Why are you doing this?
It's the truth, man.
Oh my God! But you're telling me things that I never really thought about.
I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear.
My boyfriend just broke up with me. This is everything I need to hear.
Really, what you got with me?
Yeah.
Have you noticed the things men do to compete for women?
Everything,
yes, very much so.
What do they do?
One up each other, competitive talking, and everything that men do, of course.
What are the things women do to compete for men?
Market themselves, outslut each other, if you will.
If hypergamy is part of a female's nature, don't you think more people should know what it means?
Yes, but they're not ready for that talk.
Is competition good or bad for society?
Good.
Real nigga.
Why?
That's some real shit right there. They ain't ready for that.
Because it keeps you at the tip of your toes, top of your game.
What are the things men do to compete for women?
Dress nice, drive nice things, but people don't understand the psychology of a woman. You do that stuff for yourself, the woman gonna find you. So you ain't got to do something to impress a woman. You do something to level yourself up. And that's when the women be like, see you and be like, now it's a competition for real.
What are the things women do to compete for men?
That's what we're supposed to do as men, though. That's what we're supposed to do. That's how it was originally. That's how it originally was. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be out here chasing ass and chasing tail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we should be out here chasing tail, man. They'll when they see what's going on, they'll come.
Now, see, I was dismissing this guy as kind of silly with his little vibe there, but he hit the facts, so I can't argue with him anymore. Yes, men need to be focused on our purpose more. I'll keep using the Adam and Eve comparison right there. We have to be focused on our focus. We have to be focused on our purpose. And if a woman comes along, fine. If she don't, fine. Because if you want a woman to come along, she's going to be driven by what you're doing. You know, what you're doing and your options that you're presenting her. But you don't present her as the options as in, hey, I make X amount of money. You don't code to her directly. I make X amount of money. I do all this. No, you do this. You're walking in your purpose. And that way she will see you from afar because their women are scouting. That's what they do. So the more you're even my little ugly self, I get little eyeballs in the gym every now and then. They're like, wait a minute, where did this guy come from? I'm over here, making $315 look like just a tip. I ain't trying to big up myself too much now, but it's like sometimes I do throw women off because I'm focused on my purpose. I'm not over here to stare at you in your yoga pants or blah, blah, blah. I'm in here to get my pump on. You like what you see? Hey, maybe holler at me. I'll give you a spot, give you some pointers here and there, But guess what? I want to do after we're done talking? Get back to work.
And they love that shit. They love it. They love when you're not paying them attention. They love it. They'll because then they'll try to get your attention. Then they'll try to come closer to you. Then they start lifting right by you. Then they'll use the machine right by you. Then they, that's how it works.
Now when I tell them no, then they're gonna run away. That's how it works. Like, oh, you think you all that?
It's the outfits, the nails. For some reason, the eyelashes, we don't even like that. Y'all could be doing the eyelashes. I don't know who told you
that's
that
some
was
real
cute.
shit.
Does a woman's hypergamous nature fuel
don't
men
like
to
this.
compete with each other.
Yes, 100%.
Is competition good or bad for society?
It's terrible because men will kill someone over a woman.
Okay, but doesn't that also encourage men to improve themselves?
To a certain extent.
So would it be good and bad?
Yes.
Since most women want...
What you think about that, Tony? What you think about what she just said?
It's not, competition is not a bad thing in itself, because like she said, yeah, that extreme example of killing somebody over some damn vitamin P, that's an extreme level that should never be gone, because that shows all sorts of insecurities, and that shows how much of a knuckle dragger you really are. Women, there are even some women who probably do that. Will probably kill over a man that they kill another woman because this woman looked at him. Wow, just no way. But however, the idea of bettering yourself because you've seen somebody else move in a way that you believe is superior, and that drives you to be better, that's good. Because next thing you know, what's it called when it comes to the economy? Everyone's trying to build a better mousetrap. And eventually that better mousetrap will be just the one that's the top dog. And it should drive that sense of healthy competition, rather than being that little shady motherfucker who just sees somebody who is on their game doing good shit and they want to undercut them. And that's an unhealthy form of competition. Rather than you undercutting someone else's greatness, appreciate it. You don't got to kiss their ass per se, but it's like, can I get a little closer to that? Or just humble yourself to where you at. Hey, that's them. They're doing that great shit right there. I got to stay focused on me. Those are the two healthy ones. That undercut shit, that's the unhealthy one. And definitely don't kill somebody over that kind of mess. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah, that's crazy. If somebody can kill somebody over another person, they're honestly just reflecting themselves onto the other people. It's really all it boils down to. So I mean, if you're gonna kill somebody, it's really just a mere reflection of how you feel about yourself. You're willing to kill another person, it's probably because you're willing to kill yourself, or you want to kill yourself because of the issues in the situation. So I mean, it just is what it is, man. You gotta come to that place where you understand that it's not worth it. If you gotta kill somebody, man, nah, that's not worth it at all, man. Fuck that. But yeah, I agree, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with competition. I think friendly competition is the healthiest. And a lot of the times I always try to encourage men to not necessarily try to compete. If you got a clear competitor or you're in an environment where you're going to have to compete, that's one thing. But if you just see somebody that's outside from you and they may be better than you, you can see the clear traits. Don't let that make you feel envious or jealous. Rather, let that inspire you. Like when I see people who better than me, even my competitors, like even if I know I'm gonna have to compete with somebody, but I can see clear indications that they're better, I let that inspire me. I'm like, I bet. So shit, let me try to get what I can get out of this person. What can I learn from this person? I'm very competitive in nature, but it's usually when the action is going. You know what I'm saying? Like in action, I'm highly competitive. But when it's outside of that action, I try to focus more on like what I can learn and gain, especially if it's somebody who's better than me, or if I lose. But yeah, obviously men and women are going to compete, but it's just all on how we move. I try to compete with myself most of the time. I'm trying to outdo myself from, last year before. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at competition, unless obviously it's in action. I know we've been doing this for a minute, Tony. You good, man? You got to bust a move, or you good?
Yeah, let's hurry up just a little bit because I still got to do my other appointment.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna drag it this long, man. But that's cool, man. I think we touched on some good things with this episode, obviously. And the video was pretty much almost over. It was a pretty lengthy video, but us, man, we dig deep. But thankfully we was able to dig deep. And to me, some of those women did look a bit humble, so especially that one chick, like she was very humble. Remember when he was asking her those certain questions, she was like, dang, man, like you get me with these questions, like, and she didn't have no other choice but to admit the truth. And it's the truth. women should be humbled that way, and I think women who will be humbled that way will appreciate it once they see the value in following the truth instead of following this delusion that a lot of modern women have been taught. So that's pretty much where I stand, man. What you think?
We have to be honest with each other and ourselves, because if you know what you want, or you have a general idea of what you want, you follow the people who are already experienced down that path and allow them, humble enough to teach you. When it comes to dealing, that's just you when we're talking about that whole competition thing. Now, when it comes to relationships, know who you are and what you want out of a relationship, and then take ownership of what you want versus trying to push your expectations on the other person. If that person is not that person, okay, move on. This is not the person for you. That's why I try to tell. That's why when women try to do that manipulative talk of saying that, oh, you're controlling. No, I'm controlling me. I am saying I want to be in a relationship with a person who does X, Y, Z. You do A, B, C, so there's no reason for us to continue any further. We're good. We're done. See, so I'm not stopping you from doing what you want to do. You got your A, B, C. I'm still sit back in the cut, patiently wait for my X, Y, Z. And we have to be confident and self-esteem enough to possibly piss somebody off to say that.
And that's real shit. Totally agree with that, man. Well, look, guys, if y'all still watching at this point, thank y'all for watching, man. We appreciate y'all, man. First episode back. This was really kind of like an opener episode, man. We're going to definitely try to come with some new approaches in this season. Be sure to, hit that subscribe button if y'all haven't hit it yet, man. Like the video, share it, and comment below what y'all thought, man. Comment, give us some comments on what y'all think and y'all perspective on, what we're talking about in these videos, man. As every episode, at the end of every episode, I always say it. Let's see if I remember it. All right, so, okay. Every man is a king of his own kingdom and a king of his own world. So embrace your masculinity and build your kingdom kings. Salute.
Y'all take care.